Takulandirani ku AMTV Malawi kuchimake kwa nkhani zenizeni. Ngati nkhani imeneyo kuno kulibe, dziwani kuti nkhani imeneyo ndi yabodza.
This election, your presence offers confidence to voters, political parties, and indeed the nation as a whole. When people see that impartial observers are observing the process, they gain trust that the elections are being conducted in line with both national laws and international standards. Ladies and gentlemen, as the Commission, we value your work immensely and we consider you as partners in the strengthening of our democracy. You do assist us identify areas for improvements, and you bring international best practices into our processes, and you provide impartial, and we expect that you provide impartial assessment that help our citizens and global community to understand the quality of our elections. It is for these reasons that the Commission has always been deliberate about engaging observers openly and consistently. This meeting today is intended to provide you with a comprehensive briefing on our preparations and our expectations actually regarding the observer missions, both local and international. We are just a few days from the historic moment, and it is our responsibility as the Commission to ensure that you as observers have accurate, factual, and up-to-date information on how the polling process will unfold. And we want you to be well informed as you go into the field so that your work is grounded in clarity and accuracy. Ladies and gentlemen, we are aware that there is always much interest and debate around transparency in elections. And this is why we want to assure you that as a Commission, our commitment to transparency is unshakable. We are determined to deliver elections that are free, fair, transparent, credible, and peaceful. This is not just a statement of intent. It is a guiding principle that informs every decision we make and every action we take. Distinguished guests, as I conclude, allow me once again to express the sincere gratitude of the Commission for your presence and your commitment. And we believe that your participation will add immense value to the credibility of these elections. And we invite you to engage with us openly during this briefing, to seek clarification wherever necessary, and to carry forward the information that you gain today from the Commission. And the Commission is open to engage with you even beyond this meeting. We actually pledge to remain accessible to you all the times. Our staff commissioners are available to provide any support or additional information you may require in the course of your work, but also noting that this is not a simple period for the staff and the Commission. We are extremely busy in making sure that we deliver these elections. So we want you to succeed in your missions because your success contributes directly to the success of the electoral process. Before I invite the Honorable Chairperson to deliver the statement of preparedness, allow me to introduce the commissioners that are in front here. We have Commissioner Dr. Emmanuel Fabiano, and we have Commissioner Reverend Philip Kambulire. We have Commissioner Dr. Sarah Rimbika Kamurongera, and Commissioner Richard Chapweteka. You will note that Commissioner Mfune is not here because she's feeling a bit unwell, but certainly we hope she'll be around tomorrow when we have NECOF that is taking place tomorrow. Allow me, therefore, ladies and gentlemen, to introduce the Honorable Chairperson of the Malawi Electoral Commission, Justice Annabel Mtalimanja, and invite her to deliver this statement of preparedness. Thank you.
Thank you, CEO. Commissioners of the Malawi Electoral Commission here present, CEO Mek and Deputy CEOs, Mr. Kankwalala and Mr. Bota, management and staff of the Malawi Electoral Commission here present, heads of missions and all accredited observers here present, the UN rep, UN RCO, heads of government departments and agencies, the registrar of political parties, members and representatives of civil society organizations here present, as well as faith and religious organizations here present, representatives of the Malawi Law Society, the legal fraternity, and the media. Ladies and gentlemen, good afternoon. Allow me, on behalf of the Malawi Electoral Commission, to first of all extend a warm welcome to the BICC and in particular to Malawi, the warm heart of Africa, for those who have flown in from other jurisdictions. To join Sangwani and the CEO accept our apologies once again for the late start of the meeting. The meeting we had earlier with political parties extended beyond its anticipated time. Nonetheless, we are grateful that you are here this afternoon. The Commission expresses its gratitude to you, all local and international observers who have come this afternoon for our briefing session. Ideally, we could have had this a little earlier, but as you would understand, we are multitasking at the moment with just now 14 days to elections, and we are having to ensure that everything is in place in readiness for the 16th of September. Nonetheless, we are here today. As the CEO remarked earlier, the role of observers in an election cannot be overemphasized. Observers render credence to electoral processes, and we expect nothing less from your observation of this election. And to that extent, the Commission is pleased to host all of you, your missions, and we are looking forward to work with you and to collaborate with you as part of the 2025 general election. During this engagement this afternoon, the Commission will share with you our general state of preparedness for the election, but you will also be taken through the Code of Conduct for Election Observers, which has been prescribed by the Commission and has been published in the Gazette. And for those who may not yet have it, it is available on our website. In terms of the state of preparedness, allow me first of all to just highlight that after the 2020 fresh presidential election, we had quite a number of reforms, some of them legal in nature. And as a result of that, we have the set of electoral laws that are guiding our electoral processes. To that end, we have prepared a compendium of electoral laws. An electronic copy can be provided to you all because it puts together all the necessary legislation and the legal framework that you were using for the election, and it will be easier to reference once you have that compendium. An electronic copy can be provided as indicated, but you are also welcome to access the same on our website. In terms of electoral activities, allow me to just mention, I'm sure we all are already aware, we conducted registration from October 2024 through to January 2025, and as we speak now, our voters register has 7.2 million registered voters, plus that we are anticipating will participate in the elections on 16 September. The registration statistics are also available on our website, to which we again welcome you to visit, because you will be able to see not just the total number of registered voters, but also the disaggregated data, which will be helpful to your observation, but also as you to guide through the processes. In terms of nomination of candidates who are going to participate in the general election, in preparation thereof, aspiring candidates were able to collect nomination papers starting from the 10th of June, continuing through the final day that the Commission set for this process. The official window for submission of papers ran from 24th of July through to the 30th of July. Following the vetting and approval of the successful candidates, the Commission published the list of candidates duly nominated for election as President of the Republic of Malawi, Member of Parliament, and Councillor, and this was done between 8th and 22nd of August. The publication was in the newspapers, on the radio, and in the Gazette. Copies of the Gazette with the lists of nominated candidates for the 2025 general election are available on our website, which for ease of reference is www.mec.org.mw for those who may not yet have visited the site already. Additionally, copies may be provided upon request through our Media and Public Relations Directorate. We urge you as our observers to make reference to these official records for the number of candidates and their affiliations for your use. In terms of security for the elections, the Commission is sharing with you this afternoon that all matters related to election security are in place. In accordance with the law, the Commission has a duty to ensure that all electoral processes are conducted under conditions of absolute security. This includes the safekeeping of all materials against the possibility of tampering and adulteration. The Commission has established a robust security apparatus supported by the Malawi Police Service and the Malawi Defense Force under the Election Security Task Force. This is a task force which is responsible for coordinating all matters security in relation to the election. All electoral materials are being secured under the auspices of the Security Task Force, and where necessary will also be transported under cover of the Malawi Defense Force and the Malawi Police Service. All our installations, including warehouses, are being guarded 24 hours to ensure that there's no loss or there's no tampering of any election materials. In terms of trainings, all training needs have been taken care of as we speak. Every cohort of personnel involved in the elections, this is from polling all the way through to result management, will be fully trained, and trainings are already underway to ensure that they are acquainted with all processes, including the use of devices, the handling of forms and records. The Commission has implemented a training regime that will be cascaded down all the way through to polling staff. The strategic objective of the Commission is that should there be any errors, and we hope there will be none, these should not be attributed to lack of or to insufficient training. The Commission will issue information relating to the number of personnel required for polling and results management purposes, which will be provided to you in due course. In terms of transport and logistics, the Commission is sharing this afternoon with you that we are in the process of pulling vehicles, boats, and aircraft as part of the logistics arrangements for polling and results management, and that includes deployment and retrieval of materials. Towards this end, the Commission has in place a transport task force that has been given the responsibility of ensuring that the Commission has in place adequate logistics and transport arrangements. The Transport Task Force is being fully complemented with the assistance of the Malawi government, which is pulling vehicles to be deployed towards election transport and logistics. The Commission, in addition, will also hire vehicles from private car hire services. In terms of the official election campaign period, you would be aware that the official campaign period remains as set by the law, running for 60 days, and the official campaign period opened on 14th July when it was launched by the Commission. And it's going to run all the way through to 14th September at 6 a.m. The period for campaign is regulated by the Code of Conduct for Electoral Campaign as prescribed by the Commission and published in the Gazette, to which all candidates were required to sign during submission of their nomination papers. In line with the Code of Conduct for Electoral Campaigns, any political party, candidate, or individual may submit a written complaint to the Commission within 7 days of filing of the same. Within 7 days of the alleged breach, providing sufficient detail to enable resolution. The Commission may regulate its own procedures, including requesting written responses, summoning parties for a hearing, or indeed referring the matter to law enforcement agencies. To date, the Commission has noted and observed that the campaign environment has so far been peaceful, with no reports of violence or threats. The only complaints that the Commission has received this far involve isolated cases of destruction of campaign materials reported both to the Commission and to the Malawi Police Service. The Commission promptly instructed the Malawi Police Service to investigate and report their findings on those complaints received, and directed the candidate whose agents are suspected to have committed the actions complained of to submit their own written response to both the Commission and the Malawi Police Service. The Commission is sincerely hoping that the peaceful environment that has this far characterized the official campaign period will continue until the end of the campaign period on 14th of September. Now I'll talk about appointment of party and candidate representatives. The Commission is currently processing the appointment of party and candidate representatives, and this is a process that is governed by the presidential, parliamentary, and local government elections, appointment and revocation of appointment of party and candidate representatives regulations of 2025. Political parties sponsoring candidates and independent candidates contesting in the elections are entitled to appoint representatives to monitor electoral activities, including voter registration, polling, counting, and results management processes. Since the opening of submission through the Media and Public Relations Directorate, the Commission has regularly reminded parties and candidates about the timelines, procedures, and requirements, including the specific centers where representatives will be stationed. The Commission has informed all stakeholders that it will not be extending the period of submission of names of representatives once the window designated for submission closes. Political parties and independent candidates have been informed that representatives must be Malawian citizens who are aged 18 or above, and they are not contesting as candidates in the elections, and they are required to display official identification issued by the Commission at all times whilst they are at centers or stations where electoral processes are being conducted. The number of representatives permitted per center is as prescribed by the law, or where not so prescribed, as determined and communicated by the Commission. Representatives report to the officer in charge of the polling station, and they are bound by lawful directives to ensure the smooth conduct of the electoral processes. The Commission emphasizes that it reserves the right to revoke an appointment of a representative if in its determination the appointment was based on false information, or where a representative obstructs electoral officers, breaches the secrecy of the ballot, engages in misconduct, or disobeys lawful directions. Once revoked, the representative loses all access rights to the electoral center or station and may be removed should they refuse to comply. It must also be emphasized further that for this general election, the Commission is not allowing any roving party or candidate representatives, and will strictly regulate this process in accordance with the regulations. This being so, all names that will be assigned to a particular center and their rights will be restricted to that specific polling station or center. Now, in terms of printing and verification of ballot papers and other materials, and as I talk about the ballot papers, just to state the obvious that we are not voting using any electronic devices. We are voting using ballot papers. The Commission announced to political parties and stakeholders that following a procurement process conducted under the Public Procurement and Disposal Act, the Commission contracted Agurea Printing and Publishing of Dubai in the UAE to print ballot papers. In line with the standard practice, the Commission extended an invitation to all political parties and nominated candidates to appoint representatives at their own expense to monitor the printing process in Dubai. The printing process ran from 10th to 30th August. A technical team from the Commission, along with representatives of the Malawi Congress Party and the UTM Party, being the only two parties that nominated and sent their delegations to Dubai, conducted a verification exercise for ballot papers for all the three election categories at the printers' facilities in Dubai. All packaging, including packing lists, was certified as consistent with the Commission's official documents. The party representatives confirmed the accuracy of the verification, and upon their request were also provided with electronic copies of the manifests to facilitate the verification of the consignments upon arrival at the Kamuzu International Airport. These electronic manifests were also shared with other political parties and independent candidates through our Media and Public Relations Directorate. The Commission is pleased to announce and to share with you this afternoon that consignments of ballot papers and related materials have begun arriving in the country. On Friday, 29th August, we received Form 29s, which is the authority to vote elsewhere, which were delivered on that day. And yesterday, 1st of September, we received the first batch of the parliamentary ballot papers. Additional shipments are expected to run on between 4th and 7th September. and this has been communicated to political parties and candidates and stakeholders. The standard practice is that political parties and their candidates are invited to the airport to witness the receipt of the ballot papers and related materials, and also to observe the safekeeping of the same. For security purposes, the ballot papers and materials are being warehoused right at the airport until we dispatch them through to the polling stations. Just for clarity, the Form 29 that I've referred to is the application form to be used by individuals deployed as polling officers, party or candidate representatives, or security personnel to vote at the station where they have been assigned to. In terms of the law, a person is supposed to vote at the place where they're registered at, but for these three categories, they may not be able to vote at the place where they're registered at because they have been deployed elsewhere. So the Form 29 is to facilitate that process. On 5th August, Parliament passed the Presidential, Parliamentary and Local Government Elections Amendment Act, which is to facilitate this process, and the Act is currently awaiting presidential assent. However, for purposes of preparation, the Commission just went ahead to print the Form 29 in anticipation of the presidential assent, so that we are ready when that is done. I'll now talk about the results management and the biometric voter verification and identification. Some of us may recall, or just to state that in the 2019 tripartite elections, as well as the 2020 fresh presidential election, the Commission used biometric voter registration kits, fondly known as the BVRKs, for voter registration, verification, and for results management, which included transmission of results to the National Tally Center. These devices were borrowed from the National Registration Bureau, as some of you may be aware, in particular the UNDP, which the devices were then procured for the NRB for purposes of the civil registration exercise. Building on the experience of 2019 and 2020, the Commission, through its strategic plan, which is running from 2023 to 2028, as well as the 2025 General Election Operations Plan, the Commission resolved to upgrade its technology in anticipation of the 2025 general election. This includes the adoption of a hybrid model for transmission of results, combining both electronic and physical transmission. According to the strategic plan, it is one of the strategic core goals of the Commission in relation to management of results to, number one, develop appropriate ICT solutions to enhance efficiency in results management. Number two, to digitalize and secure transmission of results. Number three, to test and certify the security of the results transmission system. Number four, to conduct trial runs and external testing of the result management system. And number five, to implement electronic and physical results transmission from constituency to district, from constituency and district to the National Tally Center. In anticipation and to realize the strategic goal, the Commission procured 15,200 biometric voter verification and identification devices for voter verification at polling stations and for capturing images of signed result sheets. In addition, 6,500 election management devices will be deployed in the results management process to capture, transmit, and manage results from the constituency tally centers through to the National Tally Center. As early as March 2025, the Commission committed to maintaining the consultative approach used during the voter registration module, including transfers and the inspection and verification of the voters' register. The Commission also undertook that in the same fashion, it would roll out the biometric voter identification and the results management, including electronic transmission of results. On 6 June 2025, in line with the undertaking, the Commission held a consultative meeting with political parties where it presented the technical and functional frameworks for the biometric voter identification and results management system, including electronic transmission of results. At that stage, the modules were still under development, but the Commission emphasized that it would be guided by the principles of efficiency, credibility, probity, and built-in verification mechanisms at every stage in line with the law. The Commission reiterates that the results management system in place will be implemented as stipulated under the law, in particular, which you can reference later, under Part 7 of the Presidential, Parliamentary and Local Government Elections Act. Accordingly, all legal processes relating to results management, including the preparation of physical result records at the polling stations, constituency tally centers, district tally centers, and the national tally center will be followed strictly in terms of the legal prescriptions. Political party and candidate representatives at each level will retain the right to observe, to sign off, and to receive copies of the results sheets. The election management device will not replace, rather, the election management system will not replace these procedures as stipulated in the law, but will only serve to enhance efficiency. At the meeting of 6 June, the Commission further undertook to conduct dry runs of the two processes, inviting all political parties and key stakeholders to participate in the consultative demonstrations of these modules. This commitment aligns with the plan agreed upon with stakeholders on 11th August 2023, when the Commission adopted the key strategic documents that I've referred to earlier. Now, in terms of the dry run that the Commission undertook to hold, this was conducted in 73 constituencies across 8 councils in Nzimba, Nkatabe, Lilongwe, Dedza, Balaka, Neno, Chikwawa, and Blantyre City for the use of the biometric voter verification and identification devices and processes of the result management system. The objectives were to obtain confirmation that the biometric voter verification and identification devices and the results management system are functioning as designed. In addition, the exercise was undertaken to identify operational or technical challenges ahead of polling day. During the exercise, political parties, electoral stakeholders, election observers, and the general public were invited to observe the process. The Commission here reports that political parties, including stakeholders, participated in the dry runs at council level and also at the national level and witnessed the simulation firsthand. Earlier today, which is the meeting that we had prior to this one, the Commission presented the results management system and the biometric voter identification to political parties and nominated candidates, highlighting key findings and challenges observed during the simulation and the dry runs. The Commission reports that apart from seeking clarity, no political party or candidate representative expressed any objection to the biometric voter verification or the result management system. In terms of the general findings, The Commission, first of all, wishes to state that the dry run was a proof of concept exercise and not a pass or fail test. In terms of functionality and intended purpose, the biometric voter verification and identification devices successfully verified voters biometrically, and the result management system effectively processed results from constituency to the national level, with real-time progress visible on the national dashboard. And the main challenge identified during the dry run was relating to connectivity, which was reported in some councils to be intermittent and thereby causing delays in the simulated transmission. The Commission is actively working on this challenge to secure improved coverage for polling, for transmission of results after counting of the votes. The Commission is confident and is assuring the nation that it will successfully deploy the biometric voter verification and identification devices and use the results management system for the 16th September general election. Another issue that was observed relates to the capacity of some operators, and the Commission is continuing the training and enhancing the capacity of the said polling staff. As I conclude, first of all, again, the Commission expresses its gratitude to all observers, local and international, for positively responding to the invitation to observe the elections, but also for positively responding to our invitation for this briefing session this afternoon. We look forward to working with you all in the 2025 general election, and the Commission reaffirms its commitment to delivering the 2025 general election in a transparent, credible, inclusive, and lawful manner, with the full involvement of party and candidate representatives in the polling, counting, transmission, and results management. I thank you all for your attention.
Thank you so much, Honorable Chairperson, for the comprehensive presentation on the state of preparedness. According to the program, Honorable Chair, I'm supposed to make a presentation, a brief one. I'll go to the actual slide where everything starts. I've skipped a good number of them. We're going into the rights of observers. As observers, for those that are coming from outside the country, you got the right to obtain a multiple entry visa into Malawi. That's according to the law. Have unimpeded access to all election events and to observe all aspects of civic and voter education programs. So the accreditation that we're going to give you, you are supposed to have it all the time with you so that people know that you are an accredited observer, and this we have embedded in all our interaction with other stakeholders, including our polling staff. We do them how to handle and help you. The other right you have is to enjoy freedom of movement throughout Malawi. You can seek and obtain information on the official organizations involved in the conduct of election regarding the election itself. Because you are coming here, the Commission is not the only organization you are dealing with. So you got the right to seek information even on how the civil society have played a role in preparation for this election, political parties and others. You have a right to communicate freely with any candidate, organization or person, and have information, access to information transmitted to the Commission and its offices. When there are complaints lodged, you got a right to get to say what has been complained about and even the responses of the Commission, because that can also help you in judging how the Commission has been fair in addressing complaints. This is your obligation not to interfere or to impede the normal course of the voting process, especially on the polling day. Make sure that your presence there doesn't at any point stop the polling process. If you find the people busy, ask them when they will have the space to talk to you. You don't just interrupt and say, hey, can I just talk to you, when somebody is helping an assisted voter. Should it happen that you have been able to access a secrecy of somebody's ballot choice, please, you have got an obligation to maintain that secrecy. This one I should emphasize, you got an obligation to provide the Commission with copies of your written information, statements, speeches, whatever you deliver, the reports, please share with us. Some cases it becomes a challenge, especially for us that are interface of the Commission. You find the reporters are contacting you, the such Commission has said this. Now you don't have the report itself, but they have been faced to share it with the media. So it's a standard practice, though it's even included here, but it's a standard practice that you share your reports and everything, any information that you have made available to the public. One or two things from your code of conduct. Observers, you have to respect the Constitution of the Republic of Malawi and the laws that are governing elections. You have to observe with impartiality and be independent of any political party or candidate contesting in an election. So you have to be objective, and this should be seen even in your conduct and even in your reports. So avoid anything that compromises or can compromise your neutrality. For example, if you go to a political rally, somebody speaks something and people are clapping hands, you wouldn't expect you to be joining the jubilation, or that will just portray a certain picture. We don't expect you to do anything which can compromise the secrets of the ballot. So this even includes taking pictures of somebody of marking on a ballot which compromises the secrecy of the ballot. In your observer report, the code of conduct which has been developed has put some skeleton information or requirements in that, but you are not limited to this. One, you have to include in your report your assessment on the degree of impartiality shown by the Commission, an assessment of the freedom of political parties and candidates to campaign freely, the fairness of the media itself, you have to assess that, including the public broadcaster. You have to talk something about its security. Yes, security. You got a duty to comply with instructions given to you by the Commission. This is another important thing. If there is an issue of conflict of interest, either to you individually or to your organization, you have to declare that to us. As an observer, you are not supposed to accept any gift or a favor from a political party, candidate, representative of a political party or candidate, or any person involved in the election on account of a political party candidate. So a political party or a candidate should not give you a branded pen, as sad as it might be. This is other one, especially to the local observers. We should not express any view or opinion on any matter which is subject of electoral campaign. So this calls on you to be very familiar with the issues that have been contained in the manifestos, because the media may come to you as education experts, as finance experts, as experts in whatever sector, and ask for an opinion. If that issue is to do with a campaign, issue, more especially contained in a manifesto of a contesting candidate, please refrain. Because if you say this is wrong, you are putting that one in the negative. You say this is right, it's like you are endorsing that candidate. This one is also generic and obvious. You should not wear or carry or display any symbol colors of a political party candidate or indicating any affiliation with a candidate or a political party participating in the election. And at the same time, we don't expect observers will be involved in canvassing for votes for any of the contesting candidates. On the polling day, you should not obstruct any voter at a polling station on his or her way therefrom, and even interviewing the voters at the polling station, more especially at the point when a voter has been given a ballot paper. Nobody is supposed to talk to such a person. If you notice something, this is how the code of conduct has mentioned it. That if you notice that there's an irregularity in the conduct of the poll, counting of the votes, or any other electoral process, you should bring to the attention of the presiding officer, constituency returning officer, or the chief election officer's attention such an irregularity. You don't go and stop them. You are an observer. The code of conduct that we have now is statutory, developed from a provision of the law, and it's a subsidiary legislation, so it's got penalties prescribed under it. I'm hesitant to mention of the penalties, but just know that. Should you wish to submit a statement to us or any information to share with us, those are the two email addresses you should use: ceo@make.org.mw, and that's the main email address for all your communications with the commission. The other one is just secondary, but the main address is the CEO's address. We expect you to be identified. An observer should be identified as such at all point in time in the course of your duty. You are not civilians. Wherever you go, you should be identified as an observer, so make sure you got the fisherman's jacket. One or two things, this is my last slide. When you reach a polling station, you need first to identify yourself with the presiding officer. The chairperson has granted you the accreditation, yes, but the polling station has got entry protocols. You don't just go and start doing things without the presiding officer, no. Introduce yourself to the presiding officer, briefly explain why you are there, and tell them if you need any support from them, any information that you are looking for, so that they prepare and give you. Make sure once again you don't obstruct the voting process. If you're going to take a picture, seek permissions. We are not allowing flying of drones, because in some cases they can disturb the polling process. It's proper that when you're going into a council, you identify yourself with the police, the officer in charge, in case they may need to call you if there's a situation arises. Where will observers vote? You vote at the place where you registered as a voter. So all those that are deploying observers, make sure you deploy them close to where they registered or transferred to. Chair, that's in brief. Thank you so much. I don't think we can take questions. Should we? Okay. We'll take one or two questions. Once again, out of courtesy, introduce yourself and your organization.
Thank you very much. Once again, my name is Benedicto Kondowe from CSF. My question, Honorable Chairperson, relates to the information information that you provided that MEC proceeded to procure Form 29 in anticipation that the recently amended law will be assented by the President, and you only have 2 weeks, about 2 weeks to go. I think it would be important as stakeholders to know if at all the Commission is informed that the President will assent, and if not, what steps is the Commission taking to make sure that you undertake what I would call informed deployment. This is particularly important because we know that Malawi Human Rights Commission petitioned the President requesting him not to assent and refer the bill to Parliament to remedy what it considered significant drafting omissions. So this is a very important matter because it has the potential to affect further steps which are key in terms of ensuring electoral integrity. Thank you.
If you got a question or anything to bring to the attention of the Commission, the window is open, so we want to identify you by raising your hand and we give you the microphone.
Thank you so much, Chair. My name is Godfrey Kaparamura. I'm from JICA. I just want you to update this meeting if at this moment in time there are any legal issues before the courts which have not yet been determined, and looking at the remaining time, what impact would such issues have on the credibility of the elections if they are not resolved by the 16th of September? Thank you.
Thank you. I think those are the two hands we had, so I will request the Chair that you respond to the issues mentioned. Oh, there's a hand, apologies.
Thank you very much. I just noted that you said all observers must be identifiable, and you said they must have fisherman jackets. Is it necessary to have a fisherman jacket, or a t-shirt would be enough? T-shirt that identifies where you're coming from.
Thank you, Sangwani. CSF, the authority to vote elsewhere, you know, this is still an issue that is on the table, so to speak. As of this morning, we were informed that the President is yet to assent to the bill that was passed in Parliament. As you would appreciate, that is beyond the scope of the Commission. We await the presidential assent. In the event that the bill is not assented to, the Commission will default to its earlier position. You will recall that during the launch of the campaign, where we made it known to the nation that there will be no authority to vote elsewhere, in compliance with the legal framework, we had indicated that on the part of the Commission, our plan was to deploy as far as possible to the place where one registered at. So this for polling staff, the Commission itself. So when I say staff, permanent and temporary. Of course, the Commission did concede that it will not be possible to deploy each and every person, including security agents, to the place or near to the place where they registered at, but we will try our best to ensure that not all staff are disenfranchised, so to speak. So in brief, in the event there is no assent, we default to our earlier position. JICA, we have a number of cases that are outstanding before the courts. We have a case that was a judicial review case that was commenced by the 2 political parties and 3 individuals who are challenging the decision of the Commission refusing to grant the request for an audit in the manner that it came, but also challenging the decision of the Commission to use hybrid transmission of results and also to use hybrid identification of voters. The case is still ongoing in court. There is a ruling that is expected to come out tomorrow, whether the judicial review is going to proceed or not. We await the outcome of the proceedings, and the Commission will inform its next steps depending on the outcome of the case. As we speak now, there is no order staying the functionalities of the Commission, so we proceed in terms of our planning of the 2025 operational plan. We also have about 3 cases where candidates whose nominations were rejected have appealed to the court to review our decisions rejecting those nominations, as you would beyond the legal requirement and is within your purview. Thank you very much.
Osaiwala kupanga subscribe ku channel ya AMTV Malawi.